this month's background building video, I thought I would show using the new Nuvo Hybrid Diamond ink pads with a stamp layering stamp set to create a colourful stamped background using coloured inks rather than black outline stamps and colouring them in. But for this month's video I'm going to be using a stamping platform. Last month I showed you using Distress Oxide inks, but because they're a pigment ink you wouldn't need to stamp them more than once, so you can easily do it with acrylic blocks. But for these images I want to make sure all the leaves are lovely and crisp and perfect, so I'm going to be using a stamp platform. I thought I would quickly show, I'm thinking this video will be up by now, where I showed you how I swatched out my Nuvo Hybrid Diamond ink pads, and I thought I would just show you how I pick my colours. So the last time I used this stamp set I used blues and greens and turquoises, so I thought I would go with purple, pink, orange, yellow for this example using it. So I opened up my swatch book and I'm thinking, oh, these colours would be really nice, but then there's not that much of a differentiation between the Spanish Sangria and the rich rosewood, so I just flicked along and decided to use the Panama Rose. So we're going to have these three colours and the Panama Rose, which I think is going to work really nicely together. So that's just how I pick my colours. Sorry for my creaky chair. So I'm going to use these four colours, and I'm going to be using the travel stamp platform to do this too. And obviously I'm working on the clear side because Altenew stamps are clear. And I've picked four colours because there are 4 layers to this layering stamp set, and this is the one called Layered Laurel. I really love how this comes out, it looks so gorgeous. So I think there's an example, yeah, look how stunning it is. I really need to use this more because it would make some really gorgeous quick and simple cards. I'll link below the previous video where I used this stamp set. I was using hand sanitizer and alcohol inks on a jelly plate to create the main focal background, and then I was adding on these as my embellishments. So let's get started. So first of all we want to get our piece of card, and again I'm always using an A6 piece of white card because I usually trim things down with my A2 stitch rectangle dies, and this works perfectly. I think I'm going to use both branches on these images, but the back of the packaging gives you the layering guide, and see, in my head I would go straight for the branch and start with the branch because it's the darkest colour, but you want to start with your lightest colour because that gives you more of an estimation of the size of the branch. Not that it really matters for making a background, it doesn't really matter if the images are going to overlap, that would actually look quite nice, but yeah, just as a pre-warning. So I'm going to pick this one, is the one to use the lighter ink with from the bigger branch, and I think I'm going to use the bigger and the smaller just to make it the process go quicker. And so for the smaller one it's saying we're supposed to use this one as the lightest colour. I've put them in a very weird order, that's going to get confusing, but anyway, yep, that's the right one, so I'm going to do that. Coming around, oh actually, if I'm clever I could stamp this one like this, and then I can flip the card round and do them twice, so I'm going to do that because that will save even more time. So that's the lightest colour, so I'm going to pick them both up and make sure my card's still in the corner, and I'm going to go with Rubber Duck as my lightest colour. I love how tightly these lids click on. I get really annoyed with the Distress Minis because the lids fly off really quickly. So give a nice coverage of ink, press down, and then This is why I like using a stamping platform for these kind of stamps, because you can easily stamp it again in exactly the same place. Perfect. Then I'm going to flip my card over and stamp again. This is going to save a lot of time because you're only going to have to position, well, you're going to have to position the layers less, you know, because you've got two that you can just repeat, and I might even be able to do the same thing flipping the card the other way actually too. So, but I think I'm going to complete these ones first, then I will figure out how to do the side bits. I think that's the best thing to do. Okay, so that is the first layer with the lightest colour. Now I'm just going to get a baby wipe, find a cleaner part of my baby wipe, and clean off my stamps, and then take them off the stamp platform and just leave them there to dry. Ugh, that's the bad thing about biting your nails, you can't get the stamps off. Okay, dry that off, and then we want to go for the second layer. So on the stamping guide, it's saying that the second layer for this one is this, and the second layer for the little one is that, and it's also saying that this is for this colour, I think. Oh, actually I don't mind having them in that order. Okay, I'm just going to go that order. So I'm going to line this up. Now, how does it line up? So I'm looking at that colour. So that one is supposed to cross over there. Yep, I think that looks about right. And then this one, that pretty much completely overlaps one of the leaves. Which one's that? That leaf, I think. But you're kind of looking at the ends of each of the leaves to make sure that they're gonna all sort of line up with the main branch image when we stamp that later. So I think that looks alright. Maybe a bit further up. There we go. So we'll pick them up and move on with the next colour, which I'm going to use Carrot Stick. One more, I think. Perfect. Then I'm going to flip this around and stamp again. So again, clean them off with a baby wipe and just leave them to dry. We might need them again if I'm going to fill in. I probably will fill in some of the other gap, but this will be fine for now. So next image, so it's telling me this one's next, and obviously this one is next because then we just have the two branches afterwards. So, it's kind of difficult to line up when you don't have the branch there, but anyway, I'm just guessing and basically just imagining the curved branch in there and going along with it. There probably is an easier way of doing it, but anyway, that goes up that way. And then think that goes about like that. Looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to pick this up and use my third colour, which is Panama Rose. Well, that's juicy. Very juicy. These look gorgeous together, these colours. That's good enough. Then I'm going to flip it. Oh, probably shouldn't put the magnet there. There we go. And then I'm going to clean my stamps and leave them to dry. Dry this off, and then finally we're going in with the branch stamps, which we're going to do in our darkest colour, which is the Spanish Sangria. So this has got a couple of leaves on it, but it's mostly just a branch image. So I'm just making sure that the branch is going to catch the end of most of the leaves that I've already stamped. I think that's fine where it is there. Then pick these up. Oh, the stem's coming off the end there. Okay, I'll just have to deal with that, I think. It'll be fine. I'll just curve it round because we're not going to need that end piece. So we're using Spanish Sangria. Oh, that looks lovely, that colour combination. And you don't have to just do one background while you're doing this. You could have been swapping out different pieces of paper as you had the layered stamps on your stamp platform, rather than just doing one. You could have been doing multiples, you could have been doing them in different colours as well. Perfect. Then flip it over. It's very like autumnal, this colour scheme, but I really like it. Okay, so that's how it looks so far. Thinking I might just repeat the whole process again, adding the leaves into different areas. So I'm going to go clean this off. that's all my background stamping done. Take that off. Now my top tip for getting this ink off of here, if I wipe it, you can still see it smears and stays there. So if you take the Nuvo stamp cleaning solution, spray on it, and that will wipe off no trouble. Doesn't quite all come off, but do another spray. That yellow's stubborn. There we go. Perfect. So that's nice and clean, ready for next time. Now I'm thinking, to finish this off, I think what would look really nice is taking a stencil like this and some pearl lustre gilding polish. I think it just needs something in the background. So, I'm going to, oh that's dirty, take a piece of cut and dry foam. I just need a small piece. You can reuse this as well, it's just I'm not sure where my pearl piece is. Yeah, so this is Cosmic Shimmer Gilding Polish. I'm pretty sure my comparison video should have gone up by now, comparing this to Nuvo Embellishment Mousse. And as I said in that, if I want something that's flatter, I tend to go for this, like not dimensional, I mean by flatter. So this is the Pearl Lustre one, and I'm not using, it comes with an applicator, but for this purpose, going through a stencil, I don't want to use the applicator because the sponge could catch on all the edges and then you'd ruin your sponge. So, and that's good. That's a really good sponge for going over like the surface of embossed card, so I don't want to ruin it. So I'm just going to scoop a bit out of the pot and squish it into my cut and dry foam, and then I'm going to try and keep this stenciling to where there isn't any stamping, or it can overlap a smidgen, but I don't want it to be all over. There we go, you can just see that it just adds something else to the background. I just like doing that. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Yeah, that just finishes it perfectly. I'm going to deliberately go over in some places just to tie it all together. There, I like that. That looks really good. Okay, so while I tidy it up, I'm just going to leave that to one side. I can scoop that bit back into the pot. I'm going to keep that for another use, because you can keep reusing your cut and dry foam for ages. Gilding polish is water based, so I'm just going to spray some water, spray some onto my kitchen roll, and wipe off my stencil. This stencil is a CRaFTi stamp stencil. It came in a set of 2. It doesn't have a name on it though, but it came with this one. I think this is called like Dotty Wave or something, because they do bigger versions of these too, but yeah. So it just cleans off with water. Bit more water. Perfect. Then for the final step. You want to buff up the gilding polish to make it shine even more, so you just take a piece of dry kitchen roll and there we go. Perfect. So that was this month's background building video showing how to build a background using the Nuvo Diamond Hybrid Ink pads, along with stamp layering set from Altenew, and then finishing it off with a little bit of gilding polish through a stencil. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!